Hello everyone and welcome back to One Soccer. I am your host for today, Josh Deming, and we are back with another episode of our Canadians Abroad Summer Series. This week's episode is going to be a transfer-specific episode because a lot of Canadians abroad are moving clubs. We're here to break it down, so if you guys are excited, as always, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, and let's get into the episode now. The saga has finally come to an end. Kylian has signed for Club Brugge. It's been tweeted out by Fabrizio Romano. This is what he had to say. Former Besiktas striker Kylian is set to join Belgium side Club Brugge on a free transfer. Brugge hijacked the deal after Tigres and Olympiacos' interest. UEFA Champions League group stage made the difference. Larea will sign a 3-year contract, medical already completed. We have also seen Club Brugge tweet out pictures of their new signing. Kylian looks very good in that new Club Brugge white kit. Some interesting things to take away from that tweet is the fact that Club Brugge hijacked the deal and that Tigres and Olympiacos were interested. We know that there was a lot of clubs interested out of Turkey like Istanbul Besiktas, Galatasaray, Trabzonspor. We've heard rumors like Olympiacos and of course Nottingham Forest. It was reported that there was two very important things when getting a deal done for Kylian. One was playing in the Premier League, which is why the Nottingham Forest rumors were there, and the second was playing in the Champions League. Club Brugge was very quiet in this deal, and like Fabrizio Romano mentioned, they hijacked, they got the deal done, and Kylian has now got a familiar face with Tajon Buchanan at Club Brugge. This was a very important move for Kylian. If he would have went to the Premier League, he would have been playing on a Nottingham Forest side who we don't really know what they could have achieved. They might be battling relegation, he might not find minutes as easy to come by. The nice decision with him joining up with Club Brugge is the fact that he's going back to a league that he's thrived in. That was a league where he kind of found his form, found his groove, went back to Besiktas and accomplished some incredible things. He's going back to this league playing for one of the best teams in the league. He's got Champions League football and he's teaming up with Tajon Buchanan. There will be a new manager at Club Brugge next season and I'm hoping for a formation change. It would be ideal to see a 4-4-2 being played. That way we see Tajon Buchanan moving up and playing as a left mid or a right mid, and then a dual striker up front for Kylian would be the best opportunity to see these two Canadians thrive. Adriana Leon has swapped clubs in the WSL. She moves from West Ham United to Manchester and becomes the very first Canadian to ever play for Manchester United. Adriana Leon has signed a 2-year deal with Manchester United and was ecstatic about her move. She took to Twitter to say this: "I couldn't be more thrilled and honored to join this historic football club. To be the first Canadian female player to play for Manchester United fills me with immense pride and excitement. I can't wait to join this talented group and put on the famous red jersey."
I think Adriana Leon is going to be a very versatile signing for Manchester United. I mean, she can play anywhere across the front line, primarily for West Ham. She was deployed as a bit of a left winger, but it was more of an inside forward hybrid role, a role we have seen her occupy for Canada, but she can also lead the line as a pure number 9. Can also play on the right, so I just think that sort of attacking versatility, she's got a bit of speed, she's got power, she can read the game very well, she's got good feet, she's got flashy skill. She kind of is a bit of a jack of all trades forward, and I think for Manchester United that's going to be a very key signing to have that sort of flexibility, especially tactically if you're trying to experiment with 2 up front, a front 3, and one playing underneath a striker. I think Adriana Leon can fill a lot of roles in the attack.
Leon has been with West Ham United for 3.5 seasons where she has scored 9 goals in 43 appearances. She's also been representing the Canadian women's national team since 2012, scoring 23 goals and 78 caps, winning an Olympic gold in Tokyo. United manager Mark Skinner talked about Leon's flexibility to play in multiple positions effectively, which is going to give her a good opportunity to break into the starting 11.
In terms of the positioning of Adriana Leon for Manchester United, it feels like she could play anywhere across the front 3, but when looking at what Manchester United played under Mark Skinner last year, it was a bit more of a 4-2-3-1. Adriana Leon immediately seems like an early fit for that left midfield role in that attacking 3. She can cut inside, plays sort of an inside forward and play and operate with her teammates. Otherwise, she could lead the line. Personally, I think she looks more of a second striker, so I don't know if that's necessarily the best fit for her. She could also play underneath as a number 10. Or of course on the right. She is versatile. I think the best position though is definitely the left midfield position. I think that will allow her best to just kind of operate it centrally and find those inside channels in those half spaces, as she does so well for West Ham and as she does so well for Canada. So I think that's 100% something that Mark Skinner will have thought when he made this signing.
Doniel Henry has been waived by LAFC. Henry played just 5 appearances for the club and he started twice, playing a total of 133 minutes. Henry was finding minutes hard to come by at LAFC, and after the signing of Kylian, it was expected that he was going to be waived. It's finally happened, and the big question mark right now is, where does Henry go from here? Henry is one of John Herdman's guys and is expected that he's going to be going to Qatar. He's one of the locker room players, he's got a big personality on him, and he's Steven Vitoria's backup in that heart of the back three. Carlos Salcedo is looking to return to Liga MX, and it's going to be potentially opening a spot for Daniel Henry.
With Mexican international Carlos Salcedo reportedly on his way out, and former Genoa defender Domenico Crescido coming in. We still don't know how he's going to adapt. This could be the possibility for Daniel Henry to come back into the TFC side, his first ever club, of course. The defender situation, kind of gets better. Luke Singh is on loan at FC Edmonton. McNaughton is still rookie at this level. Still hasn't quite proven yet, even though with some good performances. Mavinga and O'Neill are definitely going to be the ones that would, compete with Henry. And you know what? Even though it's been a while and Jonathan Azori is the only player at the club, this is not the same team that won MLS Cup and made a final in 2016, 2017. So to crack this team isn't as challenging as it would be in the past. I think it would be a win-win for Henry, even if it was just a deal in the short term from here until the end of the season.
Daniel Henry spent 2 years of his youth career with TFC before joining up with the senior squad in 2010, and he stayed there till 2013. He returned to TFC on loan in 2014, playing a total of 21 games that season. He's played for clubs like West Ham, Blackburn, the Whitecaps, Ottawa Fury, and had a spell as well in South Korea. This next move for Daniel Henry has to be the right one. He's running out of time with the World Cup coming up. Herdman wants to bring him. He needs to get minutes under his belt, whether it's returning home, playing for a TFC, or potentially even a Vancouver Whitecaps, knowing that back line on both sides could potentially use a little bit of quality, a little bit of experience, or maybe even a bold move going to the CPL. Getting game time is so crucial for this player if he wants to be heading to the World Cup in any type of form.
Well, Josh, Daniel Henry needs to be at the very least with a club if he wants to be considered for the World Cup roster. It is very important. Especially with how well Joe Waterman is doing right now with CF Montreal. And then you add in the fact that Bilal Halbouni and Justice Smith will be playing for second division teams in France and Germany, respectively. A very good level. Pressure is on for Daniel Henry to get a move sooner rather than later. He was on a big ticket LAFC making $400,000. So he's going to have to be making a lot less and probably playing for a less ranked team if he wants to get that playing time ahead of Qatar.
TFC are bringing in Lorenzo Insigne. They have found a little bit of balance to their side right now. They found that back four seems to be the way to go. So bringing in a player like this, especially with Salcedo moving on, could give him an opportunity to get minutes, starting minutes, and at a club that he recognizes and is comfortable with. Canadian men's national team captain Atiba Hutchinson has re-signed with Besiktas, signing on for another season which will take him into his 10th consecutive campaign as a Besiktas player. Hutchinson joined Besiktas in 2013 and has 265 appearances with 23 goals. Re-signing with Besiktas was a very important move for Atiba Hutchinson. This is a club who is very familiar with him and at the age of 39 needs to know how to manage his minutes so he can be very healthy leading up to the World Cup. Despite being up there in age, Hutchinson has showed that he's going to play a vital role for Canada at the upcoming World Cup. Moving on to another club in Turkey or the MLS might not have been the best idea for Atiba Hutchinson. I believe at his age, having the opportunity just to simply play in a comfortable environment, getting to grow, getting to help younger players as well is going to be important to him because he's not only a good player still for Canada, but he's a leader. And he's able to do that and show the qualities that he does every single day at Besiktas, help replicate them and help this young group in Canada thrive for a good performance at the upcoming World Cup. Atiba Hutchinson is not only adored by Canadian men's national team supporters, but also by Besiktas supporters. And what a way to go out in your career if you're able to get over 100 caps for your country, which we're hoping Atiba will be able to accomplish at this upcoming World Cup. Go back, finish off a season with the club you spent so much time with, and retire on a high. Steven Vitoria has also found a new club and he is staying in the Portuguese top flight. He has left his former side Moreirense after their relegation and has joined newly promoted side Chaves. Staying in the Portuguese top flight was vital for Steven Vitoria. Joining this newly promoted side will give him the opportunity to get a lot of game time leading up to the World Cup. He was getting a ton of game time last season with Moreirense before receiving back-to-back red cards, which ultimately lost him his spot. Vitoria is experienced in this league, and when you're a newly promoted side, you like to rely on those veteran players who know what they're doing. This is a great move for Vitoria, as we know he's going to probably play in every single match for the Canadian men's national team at this upcoming World Cup. He's vital to that back three when we play that, as well as set pieces, and having the ability to rediscover his form, staying in the Portuguese top flight, is nothing but good news for the Canadian men's national team, as well as Steven Vitoria. Nottingham Forest have signed a replacement for Jed Spence. A new right back has joined them, and it's looking like Richy Larea is on the outside looking in. It's being reported that Richy Larea will likely be loaned out by Nottingham Forest. Clubs in Belgium, the Netherlands, and the English Championship will be looking to sign him. Canadian men's national team supporters will be wanting to see Richy Larea have the opportunity to play regular minutes at a club in Europe this season, and what a dream it could be seeing Richy Larea join up with Tajon Buchanan and Kylian at Club Brugge. Gives him the opportunity to link up with two other Canadian men's national team players, play in the Champions League, and hopefully find starting minutes. He bet on himself to move to Europe, but it just didn't go according to plan. He joined a red-hot Forest side who went from the basement of the table at the beginning of the season to the Premier League, and it doesn't look like he's going to be given the opportunity to shine at the world's highest level. Whether it's Club Brugge or another top team in Belgium, the Netherlands, or maybe even a championship side, the objective for Richy Larea is clear. He needs to find an opportunity to play. It doesn't look like he's going to be given that opportunity at Nottingham Forest, but hopefully there will be a European club that will give Richy Larea a chance. He can be a very useful player, being able to play as a fullback, a wingback, right mid, left mid. If it's down the flanks, Richy Larea can do that job. If a transfer to a European club isn't on the cards, maybe heading back to MLS may be the answer. The U20 CONCACAF Championship have come to an end, and like I mentioned, this was a tournament to forget for Canada. However, the one big bright spot was Justin Smith, and something that I wanted to see in this upcoming season for Justin Smith was a potential loan move, and he has secured it. Nice have loaned out Justin Smith to 2nd Division side QRM. He is the newest Canadian, joining up with Diedine Abzi in the French second flight. The development of Justin Smith is going to be very important for the Canadian men's national team. He could be the future replacement for Steven Vitoria and Daniel Henry at that heart of the back three. He can play in a back four as well as we know he can play as a number 6. He's just a full package in the position that Canadian men's national team fans are desperate to see replaced one day. This is going to be a good opportunity for Justin Smith to get a ton of minutes in League 2 this season. He's going to have the opportunity to develop his game, to thrive, and potentially get a look at a call-up for the Canadian men's national team before or after the upcoming World Cup. There's been a lot of news coming out of TFC for the past 48 hours. Reports are saying that Toronto FC will part ways with DP playmaker and the 2020 MLS MVP Alejandro Pozuelo as Inter Miami come in to pay just $150K in allocation money to bring in the Spaniard. Alejandro Pozuelo has been one of the best players for TFC, but doesn't look like everything's at a loss right now because there's another replacement that is already being linked to the club. Federico Bernardeschi, who is 28 years old and has 39 caps for Italy, is being linked with the move to TFC after his contract has ended with Juventus. While he was with Juventus, he had 183 appearances with 12 goals and 24 assists. But the news does not stop there. With Pozuelo moving on and Bernardeschi potentially coming in, there's another big player looking to come to TFC, and that player is Marc-Anthony Kaye. Stephen Cadwell has reported that Toronto want to boost their midfield by bringing in Marc-Anthony Kaye. Marc-Anthony Kaye and Bob Bradley are no strangers to one another, as back in 2019, LAFC went on to win the Supporters' Shield, and Marc-Anthony Kaye played a big role under Bob Bradley. This would be quite a romantic return for Marc-Anthony Kaye if it were to happen, as he hasn't been a part of the TFC organization since 2015. Stephane Sestakio's contract with Porto until 2027 has been confirmed on Tuesday. Porto have signed Stephane Sestakio on a permanent basis from Paços de Ferreira on a deal that runs until 2027. Sestakio was on loan with Porto last season, where he made 11 appearances and was a part of the club's 30th league title. After that incredible campaign last season, some of Porto's midfielders have moved on, and it looks like Stephane Sestakio is going to be given the confidence, signing a massive deal until 2027 to hopefully lock down a starting role next season. Being in a starting role for a club like FC Porto, who will be competing for titles each and every year, as well will be competing in the Champions League, is fantastic news for Stephane Sestakio leading up to this World Cup year. Junior Hoilett has re-signed with Reading ahead of the 2022-2023 season. Hoilett signed a one-year contract with Reading at the beginning of last season and had a pretty decent campaign with them, even though Reading just avoided relegation. Junior Hoilett signed a one-year deal with Reading at the beginning of last season and had a pretty decent campaign. Reading did struggle, but Junior Hoilett played a role continuously throughout the season and was rewarded with a new deal. Hoilett is one of the longest-serving Canadian men's national team players, and he will definitely have a role leading up to the World Cup, so getting this deal once again with Reading where he can continue to grow on his game is really good news for the player. Reports out of Belgium are stating that Ike Ugbo has not joined up with Genk for the beginning of their preseason camp. Ike Ubo spent the second half of last season on loan at Troyes. He scored 5 goals there and helped them avoid relegation. His form definitely picked up, and you would have to imagine that there's going to be some clubs interested in signing him. Potentially clubs out of France, Germany, Turkey, or maybe returning to England with some clubs in the championship. That's all the time we have for on this edition of our Canadians Abroad Summer Series. I hope you guys enjoyed this transfer special, and if you did, as always, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, because we're getting very close to 50,000 subscribers. So if you want to help us reach our goal, dropping a sub will definitely do that. And be sure to head over to One Soccer to subscribe for all the best Canadian soccer coverage. My name is Josh Deming, and until next time, guys, take care and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers, friends.